Think about that for a moment. The man controlling U.S. interest rates may now face criminal charges. Charges normally reserved for corporate fraudsters and political felons. And at the center of it all, a jaw-dropping $2.5 billion renovation of the Federal Reserve's headquarters. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this scandal is unlike anything we've seen before. You'll see how the story twists between official explanations and damning evidence. And you'll discover how the outcome could affect the money in your own pocket. Stay tuned, because the deeper you go into this rabbit hole, the darker it gets. Picture this: two office buildings in Washington, D.C., not skyscrapers, not futuristic tech hubs, just the Federal Reserve's headquarters and its annex. Originally, their renovation was budgeted at $1.9 billion, but somehow, that figure has ballooned to $2.5 billion. That's $600 million over budget and counting. To put it in perspective, $2.5 billion could buy the entire U.S. Capitol complex. That includes the Capitol building itself and multiple congressional office buildings. It's also triple the cost of building a massive 55-story Manhattan skyscraper. Once complete, this renovation will rank among the most expensive buildings in the world. So what's being built here? We're not talking about a high-security lab. We are not talking about a NASA control center. We're talking about offices for economists and analysts, people who work on spreadsheets. The price? Over $2,300 per square foot. This is money ultimately coming from you, the taxpayer. The Fed claims it uses self-generated funds from its operations. But those funds come from interest on U.S. debt paid by taxpayers and from printing money. Either way, you're footing the bill. Consider this: Trump Tower in Chicago cost $847 million to build. It's a 98-story luxury skyscraper. Powell's renovation is costing roughly 3 times as much, and all for refurbishing 2 existing buildings. Why is it so expensive? That's the question lawmakers and watchdogs are asking, and the answers don't add up. Facing the outrage, Jerome Powell tried to defend the project. He claimed the buildings desperately needed safety upgrades. He listed asbestos removal, lead contamination fixes, and complete replacements of electrical, plumbing, and HVAC systems. The Eccles building, he noted, dates back to the 1930s, but construction experts aren't buying it. They know asbestos removal and new ventilation systems don't cost billions. Bill Pulte, a major figure in home building, visited the site himself. What he saw shocked him. Workers were ripping out the building's marble facade. They were even removing steel beam structures meant to last for centuries. Pulte said, "This stinks to high heaven." He openly accused Powell of misleading Congress about what's really happening. And he's not the only one. Former White House Budget Director Russ Vought got hold of the initial project plans. He found rooftop gardens, VIP dining rooms, and luxury marble finishes. These are not things you need for basic safety repairs. Then came the bombshell. In July, Representative Anna Paulina Luna formally referred Powell to the DOJ. She accused him of lying under oath to Congress about the project's true nature. Lying to Congress is perjury, a serious federal crime. Powell, visibly tense at a Senate hearing, denied everything. He said there's no VIP dining room, no new marble except to replace broken pieces, no special elevators, no rooftop gardens. So who's telling the truth? Is this a necessary safety upgrade? Or is it a palace disguised as an office renovation? To find the truth, you have to follow the documents. The renovation plans, approved in 2021, are public record. And they tell a story that contradicts Powell's testimony. First, Powell claimed the building had never had a serious renovation. That's false. Between 1999 and 2003, the Eccles building underwent a massive overhaul. It included asbestos removal, roof replacement, and full system upgrades. The cost? Just $24 million. And after that, the building was considered safe for decades. Second, the luxury features Powell denied are in the official plans. The documents show a private dining suite on the top floor. They show new Georgia white marble for building facades. They show an upgraded private elevator for Federal Reserve governors. They even include landscaped rooftop terraces with seating and water features. Powell told Congress these things weren't in the plan. But the blueprints say otherwise. No revised plans have been submitted to remove them. By law, major changes must be filed with oversight commissions. That hasn't happened. So either Powell lied and the luxuries are being built, or the Fed made major changes in secret, bypassing legal oversight. Either scenario looks bad, and it doesn't stop there. The project also includes an underground concourse connecting the buildings, plus a 3-story underground parking garage. These massive additions require blasting through DC bedrock and engineering feat costing millions. This is far more than a renovation. It's an expansion, an empire-building project right in the heart of Washington. Representative Luna's accusation is clear. Powell may have committed perjury. The evidence? He denied the 2003 renovation and misrepresented the 2021 plans. Perjury is a felony. If proven, it can mean years in prison. And that's just the beginning. If prosecutors find the project was intentionally inflated for profit or kickbacks, fraud charges could follow. Even former President Donald Trump has entered the fray. He toured the site with officials like Vaught and Pulte. Looking at the torn facade, Trump asked, "How do you spend $3 billion on fixing up an old building?" He said a competent manager would have done it for $50 million. Trump also suggested Powell could be removed for cause. That's a rare move for a Federal Reserve chair, but if wrongdoing is proven, it's possible. Right now, Powell hasn't been charged with any crime, but the evidence against him is growing. If the DOJ launches a grand jury investigation, things could move fast. The stakes? His career, his freedom, and the Federal Reserve's credibility. This scandal isn't just about marble floors and rooftop gardens. It's about the Federal Reserve itself. Over the last 2 decades, the Fed's expenses have quadrupled. Its role has expanded far beyond setting interest rates. Billions have been spent on new departments, real estate, and research projects. The Fed has even explored creating a central bank digital currency, a move many see as a threat to privacy. It's also spent trillions buying assets to stabilize markets. A strategy critics say mostly benefits Wall Street. Every dollar the Fed spends is a dollar that doesn't go back to the Treasury. And right now, those dollars are going into projects like this headquarters overhaul. For many Americans, that's unacceptable. Calls for oversight are growing louder. Some lawmakers want an independent inspector general for the Fed. Others want a full audit of its spending. Even some Fed supporters admit this scandal makes the institution look out of touch and unaccountable. The Federal Reserve's independence has always been a delicate balance. Too much political interference, and it can't make hard decisions on interest rates. Too little oversight, and it risks becoming a bloated, self-serving empire. Right now, Powell's $2.5 billion renovation has become a symbol of the latter. While millions of Americans struggle with inflation, the Fed's leadership is accused of living like royalty. The outcome of this scandal could reshape the Federal Reserve. If Powell is forced out, his successor may face intense political pressure. Interest rates, inflation, and market stability could all be affected. For investors, this isn't just a political drama. It's a signal that major shifts could be coming to U.S. monetary policy. This story has everything: money, power, alleged lies, potential crimes. Jerome Powell's reputation is on the line. The Federal Reserve's credibility is at stake, and the outcome could ripple through the economy for years. So here's the question: is Powell a criminal mastermind covering up a billion-dollar palace project? Or is he an honest leader caught in a political firestorm? The evidence is strong, but the final chapter hasn't been written. For now, all we can do is watch, investigate, and stay ready for whatever comes next. Because in the world where money meets power, nothing is ever as it seems. If you think this investigation matters, don't just scroll away. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next financial and geopolitical news. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is Powell guilty, or is this a political hit job?